Alright, here we go. So, starting up again, first of all, feeling well after last week's illness, and back with some more modern action. So we're starting off this evening with Andrea Mengucci's Urza Breach deck. Last week, the Andrea Mengucci went 5-0 in a modern preliminary with this deck list. He said he was a huge fan of this deck list and specifically this sideboard plan. So this is very close to the first Urza Breach deck I played, generally speaking. Yes? No, it's close to Pascal Maynard's one. It's not playing copies of Cryptic Command. So the main deck is 11 zero-mana artifacts. We've got Arcum's Astrolabe and some Aether Spellbombs for extra value with Emry, Lurker of the Loch. And the reason you're playing your third color, Jeskai, white, is Teferi Time Raveler, which combos with your Mox Ambers, so that when you're comboing with Underworld Breach and Grinding Station, your Mox Amber is able to produce the mana required. So looping back a little bit, this is a Grinding Breach deck, as I usually call them. Underworld Breach plus Grinding Station and any zero-mana artifact allows you to mill infinitely through your deck. But once you find a Mox Amber, you're also able to produce 1 mana on each loop, which means that you can mill your entire deck and then play Thassa's Oracle and win the game on the spot. White gives you access to both Teferi and Hall of Heliod's Generosity. So Teferi makes you safe from your enemy attempting to interact with your combo, and Hall of Heliod's Generosity allows you to put target enchantment card from your graveyard on top of your library. So this is essentially the same card as Academy Ruins or Volrath Stronghold, but for enchantments. In this case, of course, Underworld Breach being the enchantment that we want to use. And this deck is also playing copies of Urza, Lord High Artificer, as a sort of backup plan. You could just sort of play an artifact mid-range shell with Emry and Urza, try to beat up your opponent a little bit, get some value off of Urza, and you can consistently threaten to combo kill them at any point. Now, our sideboarding plan, as far as I can tell, is generally you've got 10 cards here that are able to transform this deck into a sort of artifact mid-range deck. You can switch some of these out. Mystic Sanctuary, obviously, you want to bring in. And you take out basically everything here that costs 2. So this is the entire combo, the Thassa's Oracle, the 4 Breaches, the 4 Grinding Stations, and the Muddle the Mixture that is a tutor for those. So you take all of these out and you bring in mostly these control elements, probably the Saheelis. In some matchups, you can leave out the Dispels. And all of a sudden you turn into just a sort of powerful artifact mid-range deck that your opponent is probably not well set up to deal with. So depending on what their sideboarding plan against you was, they might be in trouble. You also have Wear and Tear as an option, so you can also just try to become, or you can continue to play your combo deck, but also just bring in some anti-hate cards. So we're going to hop into a Modern League and see how this goes. The last time I played it, I got a 3-2. The Urza Breach decks feel incredibly powerful. It can be difficult to navigate the games that you're in, but generally the combo is actually not that taxing to get through. In terms of clicks, it is considerably less onerous than Urza Thopter Sword, and considerably more deterministic. Urza Thopter Sword usually sets you up in a way where you are going to win the next turn, but it does not set you up in a way where you can win the turn of particularly easily. You have to play something like Time Sieve in your deck, which can be a really awkward card to draw sometimes. I won the die roll against Tuskar in 1990, so we're off on a good start. And while this hand has an awesome number of 0-mana artifacts to power this Emry, it has no land, so we're going to mulligan that. Got another 0-lander. So apparently it is possible that I missed including any lands. What is up, 4D Woo? Mulligan that. And we'll keep this semi-functional hand. I'm going to ship this Misty Rainforest and this Emry. And we're going to hope my opponent does not fire off a turn 0 Ashiok somehow. We've got a turn 2 Emry, so hopefully she's going to flip something useful, and then we'll be off to the races there. I'm not going to fire off this Engineered Explosives unless I have to, since it's pretty much the only piece of interaction I have. Having a backup Emry is pretty good here. Ooh, we got a whole bunch of people in chat already. Super sweet. Tuskar 1990, what are you up to? You've got an upkeep stop, which you have not done anything with yet. Come on, nerd. I love this Emry art. Just such a sweet, glowing sword. Excalibur. I don't know the last time I used Emry to get back an equipment from the graveyard. For anyone who can hear the background, my grandmother is back on the Mario train, as she usually is. She loves the classic Super Mario Brothers. There we go. Stamping Grounds. It's probably against Dredge, if I had to guess. Without seeing a single spell cast, I would assume Dredge. No, Arboreal Grazer. Okay, so maybe Scape Shift. The Titan Shift is the usual nomenclature. Ooh, yeah, looks like. Alright, so turn 2 Emry might be decently good here. We'll see if they're playing like a bunch of main deck Lightning Bolts or if they're just ramping to Titan ultra quickly. They've also got an upkeep stop on my turn, so they're really burning a lot of clock on a whole bunch of nothing. Okay, cool. Okay, I've got a Flooded Strand. I can always use that later, so let's just fire off this Emry. Cool. Flipped 0 artifacts, so more than a tad unfortunate there, and 2 of my breaches. But I still have a Hall of Heliod's Generosity in my deck, so I guess we might still be okay. Plus the 3rd Emry. Goodness gracious, this game is just not. It's just one of those games that your deck does not want to win. But we might win despite it. We're against the slowest Titan Shift player I have ever encountered. Alrighty, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? I know you've got a Sloth. I know you've got a Crack full of zombies. And Stomping Grounds. The Crack full of zombies, you should probably get checked by your doctor. Tonto. Jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Good God. You too, sorry, BRB. Alright. Getting my music ready for my new contract, which I'm supposed to go to rehearsal for in like 9 days. But we'll see if flying to the United States is a thing that's going to happen at that point. It is entirely possible that that will not be happening. Get to go to Florida for 4 weeks. We'll see if that is a thing. Underworld Breach art is also pretty sick. Just a bunch of scurry, flapping birds bursting out of the underworld. Erebos leading them. Oh boy. Excitement, she wrote. Okay. Perhaps we get some gameplay now. Alright, Verdant Catacombs, sure. Seen a large variety of fetch lands. So I'm going to play this EE on 1 so that I can pop it next turn cycle, kill the Arboreal Grazer, but more importantly kill my Astrolabe so that next turn I can play the Astrolabe to draw a card. Admittedly, not the most exciting use of an Emry, but that's where we're at. Can also play the Emry next turn as well, in order to mill myself for more and see if I can pick up some other cards to play. Sack Elder, yeah. Okay, so we're against some kind of Jund Scapeshift deck, perhaps? Oh, please don't. You freaking jerk. Okay. On the plus side, this deck can combo off of almost nothing. My graveyard is filled to the extent that it needs to be in order to be able to combo off, so... Unfortunately, comboing off involves drawing one of the Underworld Breaches, of which I've already milled 2. So, not the most ideal circumstance. Sure. There's a good chance we're getting Titan this turn. Oh, well, they drew a Summoner's Pact, so yeah, okay. And here come the zombies. Zombies. I do have an Aether Spellbomb in my graveyard, so... Could just... Oh, there's a Bajuka Bog. Sure. Okay, so... Yeah, I got 2 draws here. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. We're not dead yet, but we're certainly getting close. Definitely got a bit of a failure to launch situation going on over here. Our deck just did not get off the ground at all. This is not helping. Another Summoner's Pact. So this is going to be for Dryad of the Elysian Groves, and then we die. Cool. Sweet. All right. So we do have tools for this matchup, however. So we've got Aether Gust, and is there anything else I particularly want here? Probably Cryptic Command, maybe Mystic Sanctuary. I think that's actually going too far in the other direction, so definitely Aether Gust. And then I suppose it depends on what I think they're likely to sideboard against us. Engineering Explosive seems generally bad against that kind of deck, so I'm just going to board out 2 of those. That'll probably be it. I don't think I need to change much else. I just need to not mull to 5 and then draw horrendously. Alright, let's see if we can get there on game 2. Not a great initial showing for the deck, but that's okay. Not every game is going to be a winner. Alright, this is very good. Turn 1 Emry, turn 3 Teferi. Oh, Emry even milled me playable cards? And she milled an Emry, which is great, because I don't need one since I already have one in play. Hopefully they don't have Fatal Push post-board. I mean, if they do, it's not the end of the world, but... Could have Lightning Bolt. Search for tomorrow, okay. So my Teferi actually is going to be able to cut that off? Yeah, that's great. Alright, I'm going to fire off the second Bauble now. So Prime Time, and they drew Catacombs, which they played. Cool. So play Astrolabe for 0. Play Plains, and then we're not going to actually pop the Bauble because I want to be able to cast this Metallic Rebuke this turn if need be. I already know the top card of their library right now is this Primeval Titan they just drew. So oh, that is gross. They put a second one into Suspend, so might see a concession to Teferi here. Grinding Station's a decent pickup. Let's shock this guy in, fire off this Teferi, play this Bauble. I'm just gonna minus him on nothing. No, I'm gonna plus him. There's a chance they're playing something like Lightning Bolt. Don't need the. I won't have the Metallic Rebuke this turn, so I just wanted to see what's on top of the deck. Snow-covered forest. Damping Sphere. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so fire off that guy. Get me a mountain because I don't have red source yet. I can play Mox Amber for 0. Damping Sphere is going to start kicking in. Play Urza for 5. So he gives me 1 mana with which I can do nothing. Just plus Teferi again. I don't need him until I need to bounce the Damping Sphere. Grinding Station currently costs me 3 to get into play. Yeah, and then something from my graveyard would cost me. Alright, so I think I just play an Astrolabe from my graveyard for 2. And then EE costs me 2 no matter what, so I think I'll just play it on 2, and that gives me a separate way to destroy the Damping Sphere. And I can still cast Metallic Rebuke on their turn by using Improvise. They lose another Search for Tomorrow here, so Teferi just doing his sweet thing where he crushes people for playing Suspend cards for no good reason. What do you got? Dryad? Dryad, cool. Blue. 1/1. Improvise that thing. Jund won the 1K I judged yesterday. Yeah, and it won the challenge this weekend, so apparently it's an awesome choice. Also, what up, Alex? Okay. So, I don't have a combo going on here, but just got some good disruption going on, so I'm going to fire off this Urza, get myself a fat construct, probably play this Astrolabe. Yeah, I guess so. Just looking to draw a Grinding Station ASAP. Not a Grinding Station, Underworld Breach. I can bounce something twice, so I'm going to bounce their Damping Sphere now. Partially because I wanted to draw the card. And then, if they want to get it back into play, they have to spend a bunch of resources. We can bounce it again, then play a replacement Teferi, so 4 mana, 5 mana, Slaughter Games. You gonna take my breaches? Sure, that's fine. It's cool. I'll just kill him. Oh no, my breaches. It's one of the nice things about playing any version that has Urza is that you are insulated. So, I can actually draw a mess of cards here by using Teferi. So I think I'm going to do that. Chalice is a 0 mana artifact right now, so it's a Mox Sapphire. Just looking for Aether Gust. That's exactly what I wanted, or something similar. In this case, the thing that's most similar to Aether Gust that I would like is Aether Gust. Would have been useful a turn earlier, but we're going to kill them in 2 turns with Urza in the Construct, so I don't think they have a particularly great out to this situation. I could have dealt 1 more damage. I'm a goon. Just want everyone on the internet to know I am not at all with the delusion that I am a particularly good Magic player. But I'm alright. Okay, Bauble them after they've done that. Field. Field is fine. What did you do today? I traveled from Toronto back out to here in Oakville. Oh no, it's a Primeval Titan. Whatever am I going to do? I guess I'll just win. Get out of here, nerd. Instant scoop. Opponent knows what's up. Alright, the question is, because they brought in Slaughter Games, do we just go full mid-range? I know you're never supposed to go full mid-range, but bear with me here. So 7 more choices. So Effective Fiction, Cryptic Command, and then we need 3 more. Spell seems somewhat medium, but Mystical Dispute's pretty okay. And then 1 more Muddle the Mixture, I guess. I don't think I need Wear and Tear against their deck because I haven't seen any copies of Omelette. Oh god, you traveled. Yeah, but I went from Blue West Village to a GO train, and on the GO train out here to Oakville, and I think I encountered about 3 people that whole time, none of which got more than 5 feet away from me, so I think I'm okay. I'll have you know I also went to the gym today. So, back at it, trying to get them gains. But, as is normally the case, no, I know you're joking. It's still safe to travel in Ontario as long as you are not traveling in incredibly dense thing. Grocery shopped and went to the office. Right on, man. It's not so bad here yet that we need to like entirely shut down all of our activity. You just want to stay away from like actual crowded things. Like traveling during rush hour right now seems like a really bad idea. Although rush hour is considerably less rushy due to the number of people who are working from home and such. Okay, so this is really, really slow. And we're on the draw. I think we can do better. That's almost as slow as the first one, but I'm not willing to go to 5 over it. So hoping we draw some quicker interaction. I wouldn't travel in Toronto, Russian everywhere. Yeah. Unless you're traveling, whenever you're traveling in Blue West Village, you could get pulled at any moment. So this is the reason we switched out of combo. They're going to have a whole bunch of hate in their deck right now that is completely going to be non-functional against us. But boy, are they going to be happy when they draw it, until they realize that we don't have anything going on. It does work against Emry, so our Emry will not work while this Grafdigger's Cage is on the battlefield. But we've got a Teferi. We can bounce it if we really need to. Apparently the deck does not feel like drawing an Emry in the opening. Wow, and Damping Sphere. They'd be so disappointed if they could see our hand. All right, let's go Scalding Tarn here, I think. I don't really need more than 1 snow-covered land at any point, so I think this is probably just getting an island. In this case, it'll probably be a Hallowed Fountain because I do want to keep my island count growing. I think we're going to play Saheeli first here. Because she means everything that I do from now on is just going to kind of create incidental value. If they have an Abrupt Decay in their hand, it's sort of, I suppose, the thing that I'm least upset to lose. I am glad that we still have copies of Engineered Explosives in the deck. Not too many, but enough. So this turn we're likely playing Mox Amber into Teferi, although they could have Titan mana next turn. So we might play Mox Amber into Mishra's Bauble and just sit with that. So this Mishra's Bauble costs me 1. I think Emry's going to cost me 1 though, because the way reduction works is still good, but because they can play a Titan this turn, I'm not actually excited to do that. What I am going to do is turn one of my servos into a Mishra's Bauble and fire that off. Just looking to draw some extra cards here. Extra loyalty on Saheeli doesn't help me much. Or just having some extra control cards could break this game wide open. Should have played the Amber last turn. You will have Dispute up for a blue spell. I thought I did play the Amber a turn ahead. Okay, Summoner's Pact. As long as they don't have a Cavern of Souls, I'm okay. Wait, they're doing this on my end step? If I had the 1 more mana right now, I could bounce their Garen Brig. Okay. So their upkeep, yeah, they've got to pay for the Pact. I wonder why they did. I guess they knew they weren't going to do anything that turn. Let's see what they're drawing this turn. Sakura Tribe Elder, sure. Oh, they know they have a Damping Sphere. That's why they did that. Because if they Summoner's Pact and try to play the Titan in the same turn, they can screw themselves up. Urza's an awesome pickup here. Okay, cool. So attack with my servo. Bonk. Now Urza can kill them really, really fast. Although I think choosing to attack with the servo means I can't play Urza this turn, because if I play Urza, I only have 2 mana up, which is not enough for Mystical Dispute. However, if I play Emry, then I've got access to an engine with which with Saheeli is just super powerful. And I can play Cryptic on their turn right now, so I'm good to pass. Cool. I think I want to bounce the Damping Sphere here. No, I can bounce the Grafdigger's Cage and get value out of my Emry this turn. Is that better than just drawing a card? Yeah, it probably is, actually. Alternatively, could just play the Mystical Dispute this turn. Nah, okay. We're gonna counterbounce. Sometimes you try to get fancy and you just should do the thing that's a little more obvious. Did I mill my Sanctuary? I did. That's a tad unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna play Urza. So I've played 2 spells this turn, so if I want to play the Bauble out of my graveyard, it's going to cost me 2 mana. Then it gives me it gives me 2 mana back, basically, because the Bauble can tap for mana, plus the servo that I get with it. Cool. Oh, and I should have tapped, the Summoning 6 servo that I had, because I can attack for 1 this turn without it being a problem. And I can sack this Bauble on their upkeep, actually, and still have the Mystical Dispute up, so we're going to do that. Just keep an eye on what they're drawing. Extirpate. Okay. That's something. If they want to attack my graveyard, they sure can. Grafdigger's Cage comes back? Sure. Enjoy. I'm just going to kill you like this turn, so you play as many hate pieces as you want, friend. So it looks like both games we're going to just kind of aggro them out. It's kind of nice. Opponent has to pay 1 more for whatever it is they're playing, which they elect not to do. Interesting. So we can easily kill them this turn by making a second construct with Saheeli. First, we're going to Astrolabe. So I want to see if I can get it closer to a single construct killing them. Muddle the Mixture is a good pickup here too. Just countering an instant or sorcery at this point is pretty good. I played Teferi for 5, but I feel like that's more of a post-combat thing to do. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. I'm gonna make can I not? Oh, if I right-click, right? Newly controlled. Right. Okay. So this Astrolabe is not newly controlled. So target artifact you control becomes a copy of another. So I'm going to make this Astrolabe into a construct, and then we go attack. It's an unbelievably lethal amount of damage. So they've got to do something. Abrupt Decay will save them. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, it will. So Abrupt Decay saves them here. Little else does. Frozen Grip. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, yeah, because he could have, they could have destroyed my... Is it Fatal Push? Extirpate. Yeah, sure. That would have been a reason to play the Teferi before I did any of that, because then I would have had an easy kill there. So important to point out where you make some errors. Nevertheless, we lost the game where we had a Mole 2-5, but other than that, felt buttery smooth against some kind of green-black Titan deck. Loving this deck. Yeah, I like it. I like the transformational sideboard plan that Mengucci put together, and I like not playing things like Cryptic Command in the main deck. I like transforming into the Urza mid-range deck, and I like having the Urzas in the main deck. So, yeah, this is pretty sweet. In terms of Breach decks that I've played so far, this is I think it's probably my favorite list. I love the ability to play a turn 1 Emry fairly consistently, and I like the possibility of playing a turn 2 Urza. I did that against the Asian Avenger, and it's in a Goldfish video. It was great. Against Zildjian88. Oh, awesome. All right, this is a little slow. I keep this. Seems in the realm of keepable. So Polluted Delta is our off-color fetch here, so I'm going to fire that one off first to get a snow-covered island. Enjoying this lockdown, yeah. It definitely speaks to the nerd kind. This is all we ever wanted. It's like how rainy days speak to nerd kind quite well. It's like, oh no, video game weather. I'm not gonna feel bad about not going outside. Oh no. Stamping Ground again. All right. I think Stamping Ground is suspicious, but not enough for me to just not jam this grinding station. And I have the Muddle the Mixture to get a Breach. So we're actually set up to combo reasonably soon. Oh, Alex, you're a judge who's better than me at Magic rules. Can you explain to me if Moto is working properly? Is Grinding Station supposed to... Oh, it's Dredge. Okay, they're screwed. Is Grinding Station supposed to trigger on itself entering the battlefield? I don't think it's supposed to, right? Okay, so they dredged Narcomoeba into Chill. Because I thought it was, this is whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, you may untap Grinding Station. I guess because it's a trigger? Okay. But if it's a static effect, like, what is it? Like, there's an artifact that's like, artifacts enter the battlefield tapped, and that won't enter tapped. Yeah, it's because it's a trigger and not because it's a static effect, right? I assume that's the case. Oh. I guess we just won. We didn't actually win yet. I think we might need to wait till next turn, but then next turn it's like super easy. So as long as we survive the one turn, we're gonna be okay. Yeah. No, I understand that, but there's like some weird comprehensive rule thing, or like it's like the anti-Blood Moon rule of like, again, there's some artifact, and when Judge Cass was talking about enter the battlefield stuff, they mentioned the fact that there was an artifact that says artifacts enter the battlefield tapped, but it doesn't affect itself because it's not on the battlefield when it enters. It can't be. Okay, what are they casting on 3 mana here? Are they like hard casting a Stinkweed Imp? That'd be excellent. That is super move of weakness here. Okay, so this is not a standard draw from Dredge, and we are definitely going to win the game for it. I don't need this Astrolabe, so sack that. Just filling up the graveyard a little bit with some food before we get going here. Wait, did I need that Astrolabe for colors? I may have. Okay, it's possible I screwed up. Wait, but I've got the Breach in play, so I don't think it matters. I think I've just got enough mana to go off here. So we do this. So play the Breach. Play the Mox Amber. Mox Amber doesn't tap for mana yet, but I can go... Hold on. Target myself and save targets. Sack the Mox Amber that can't produce mana right now. Okay, I mill myself. Alright. And then... Grinding Station. Always yes. Always yield. So... No, this was just an RTFC situation. If I had actually read Grinding Station and looked at the words like when this then this, I would be like, oh yeah, right. That is how that works. Okay. So we play Mox Amber, take out the trash. Mox Amber comes in. Sack Mox Amber. Play Mox Amber, take out the trash. At some point we'll have an Emry in here, but we've got more than enough fuel to Yeah, there's an Emry. So I'm going to play the Emry now. No, I'm going to play the Mox Amber first. So get rid of an excess breach, plus an Urza and a Rebuke. Yeah, we're good. Mox Amber comes in. Now I've got 2 artifacts. Oh, hold on. Opponent distracted me with lighthearted chatter. So pay 1 blue, dig out anything I want, except for the Mox. I need that. So now from this point on, so Emry mills me for 4, so fills things up for herself. So from this point on, we just cast the Mox Amber over and over and over again. And the only thing we need to do is make sure not to exile the... Oh, that's what happened. I had a second Mox Amber. Well, I'm a goon. Still good, though. So all I got to do from here on out is just make sure that I don't exile Thassa's Oracle. And we've won the game. So easiest thing to do is usually just cast the Mox Amber, exile the top 3, and just rinse and repeat. And the only thing you have to make sure is that you don't hit your Thassa's Oracle. So Dredge is a phenomenally bad deck against what we're doing. Okay, so there's our Thassa's Oracle. It's the only thing in the deck we do not want to exile. There's plenty of other things that we don't need to choose to exile, but I've got more than enough mana now, so I don't need to be so cautious about tapping the Mox Amber every time. But I should just get into the habit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not particularly taxing. I need a hero. Supposed to head judge a trios in 2 weeks. Play Spellbomb, sack it to station. Explain why. Why you want me to do this, Alex? For extra value? Should I mill my opponent to see if they hit like triple Creeping Chill and just kill me? Is that a good line? Okay, I've got 1 card left in my library. Even if they somehow have a way to kill my Thassa's Oracle, my Devotion to Blue is still 1 due to Emry, so I'm just going to play the Oracle now. Yes. Sorry, the stack is hidden beneath my graveyard. Yeah, so I'll put the Teferi on top of my empty library. Safety. Yeah, I guess, yeah. So, yeah, Alex brings up a good point. Optimally, if my opponent had some 0 mana effect that could kill my Thassa's Oracle and my Emry, which the black force actually could do, then it's possible to lose there. Okay, this is definitely we play the combo in the post-board games matchup. And I think we're going to play Wear Tear, and I think we're also going to bring in Aether Gust, because Aether Gust resets cards on top of their library, so this can mess with Ox of Agonis and Life from the Loam and Conflagrate, which are all spells that they will actually play in some circumstances. So EE is not great here, but I think I'll probably leave 3. Metallic Rebuke is like not super great compared to what we're bringing in, and then probably cut down on... I don't think I need Aether Spellbomb. If they have ways to kill my creatures in game 2, then we'll see about changing that. I think I'm happy with this. I play a lot of combo. Safety is important. That's true. You gotta wrap your rascal. Which trios were you supposed to head judge? Something out at like Chimera? Alright, this is a reasonably slow hand, but like we can pretty easily draw into our combo with it. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this and assume that we're gonna draw what we need here. My dredge opponent also kept a 7, which dredge opponents are never that lucky. Chimera, yeah, okay. Cool. Oop. Okay, caught it. Good. I want to fire off this Bauble. If I draw an Emry next turn, I can cast her for 1, so they flip a Bloodghast. On their upkeep, they're going to mill themselves again, most likely, so I'm going to let them have priority here. Golgari Thug and Bloodghast, so they're probably going to dredge here, but in case they don't, they're drawing Wooded Foothills. They did, in fact, dredge, but they didn't hit anything fun, so... They did have a second land, though, so they do get their Bloodghast back. And they have an Ox of Agonis in their graveyard that they are 100% to be able to bring back next turn. Oh, and I guess they're casting Loam, so maybe they're not. This will put them up to... Oh, Cathartic. Crap. I forgot about Cathartic. The actual scary card that they play on turn 2. Wow, they hit a whole lot of nothing, huh? And, like, no prized amalgams? Nice. There's definitely an Ox coming back next turn, which is going to kick their plan into high gear. Oh, wow. I mean, okay, I guess. It's hard to say no to that. And I have the 0 mana artifact in my graveyard, so I'm actually good to go here. I don't want to untap my untapped grinding station. I decline. So there's a good chance we just combo them on turn 3 here, which is gross. So assuming they don't literally kill me this turn, so they'd have to hit a bunch of Creeping Chills and Bloodghasts. Shriekhorn, sure. Oh, they do have prized amalgams now, and they did board in ley lines, but they didn't keep a hand with one. So, yeah, here comes the Ox. Here comes the Ox. Here comes the Ox. And if I was playing a deck that didn't consistently combo on turn 3, we'd actually be in trouble. Okay, we'll see how much damage they can do here, though. Because they can hit a lot of Creeping Chills. And they can get their Bloodghast haste. So they hit 2 Creeping Chills. They're down to 15 cards. So 2 Creeping Chills puts me to 8. And if they have literally all of their Bloodghasts, they can kill me here. Also, all of the lands in my hand are fetch lands. But they don't have enough Bloodghasts to kill me. They're going to put me to 2? Yeah, so I'm going to go to 3 here, and then my fetch land is going to put me to 1, and then I'm going to... Oh. Okay, so I don't need this Astrolabe on my turn, so I'm going to sack it because I need fuel. I think they hit all of their prized amalgams here, though. Which is just... Oh, no. The prized amalgams trigger for each card that entered the battlefield while they were visible. So okay, so it's only 3 of them. Crap. I needed to get a red source there. I may have just killed myself. Okay. Yeah, I might be literally one health too low. Shoot. Yeah, if I get Steam Vents, I can't shock it. So what I have to do here is play the Astrolabe. I'm gonna play the Astrolabe, play the Breach, and hope that they scoop to it. Alright, so slightly dirty trick there, assuming that they do scoop out. I'm going to start, okay, cool. I was going to start comboing. I wouldn't want to do that in paper. That would feel terrible. But at the same time, I had the correct land in my hand. So again, the problem there was I needed a red source plus the Heliod, Hall of Heliod's Generosity to play the Breach instead of playing the Astrolabe. Because then the Bauble in my graveyard plus the Grinding Station plus the Underworld Breach is the combo. Nice and clean. And then I needed the 1 blue mana available so that when I find an Emry, I can play the Emry. Because once Emry's in play, then my Mox Amber can activate for mana. There is a theoretical possibility for you to go through a game where the Ambers are the last 2 cards in your deck, in which case you can't combo and you lose. But it's very, very unlikely. I'm going to give it a 7. It's really, really solid. The only thing I need is the only thing I need is Breach, and then we're off to the races. Sunbaked Canyon probably means burn, but the fact that they didn't start with a creature is really good. However, you could be playing Eidolon of the Great Revel. Due to the fact that they could be playing Eidolon, I'm going to get this Bauble out quickly. And we're going to need to find an Engineered Explosives before long. Thalia. Oh, okay. So we're against some kind of red-white taxes. Got it. I see. Ooh. Okay, well that makes the fact that I played out my things early also good. So in order to kill this Chalice, I think we need to find the Hall of Heliod's Generosity and an Engineered Explosives. This also means I can't play anything this turn. So if I'm not playing anything, I'd rather get a tap land. Probably Hallowed Fountain. Oh, Teferi can also bounce the Chalice. Sorry, on phone with fraternity brothers stuck in St. Martin. Oh yeah, that sounds like a whole thing. You're one of the people that I know that if I was ever to get stuck somewhere, I'd be like, hey Alex, a Canadian is stuck somewhere, help. Eldrazi Displacer, sure. Another matchup where I'm happy to have Urza Lord High Artificer in my deck. Hey, look. It's one of those things that I needed. So, killing Thalia costs 4 mana. This flickers things instantaneously, so don't have to worry about that guy. I think I'm going to play Snow-Covered Plains here. Get Grinding Station into play. So they're not killing me overly quickly, but quick enough that I have some concern. The consulate is not getting a charter and closed the airport. Okay. Well, good to hear he's not in any danger or anything like that. Okay, so this is red-white Eldrazi taxes. It's got to be with the Battlefield Forge and the Wastes. There are better dual land options if you are not playing Eldrazi, but if you are playing things like Thought-Knot Seer, yeah, if this is a Thought-Knot Seer, we're going to get messed up. Yeah, because I needed that under Engineered Explosives. And then that puts them very close to lethal this turn. So if I was thinking about this specific matchup when I was... we are all in danger. Yeah. I mean specific danger. I mean not the general danger that is happening to all of us. The kind of human condition of this moment. Okay, so they got 9 damage coming in next turn. I can block 2 of it with Thassa's Oracle. Transmuting Muddle only gets me Breach, or there is another 2 mana spell. There's a single copy of... no, it's Muddle. Okay, so... I think we just play Thassa's Oracle for value, and I have the Scalding Tarn, so if the card on top of my library is not appealing enough, I can always shovel it away. Is Breach good enough here? It's not, because my EE got exiled. I think we're just dead. I think they have put on adequate pressure. I'm in danger. Okay, so they're definitely going to know we're on the Urza Breach deck in game 2, so there's a good chance we're going to go full mid-range on them. And see if that is good enough. With the deck that they're playing, it might not be. Maybe we're supposed to stay on combo. I think we're supposed to stay on combo and bring in Wear Tear and possibly some kind of removal for Thalia, although I'm not sure what we have. I guess Saheeli kind of helps. We go to 2 here. Can go to 1. I think... yeah, we're just done here. Okay, I'm going to hit the washroom real quick and then fire off my sideboarding real quickly. Be right back. Okay. So looking at the way that they played that game, I think going full mid-range is probably the ticket here. Aether Gust seems not great against them. Dispel also not great against them. But I think I like these. I like these. I think I want the Wear Tears, even though we're planning on playing a fairly fair game. I think I can cut one Engineered Explosives in that case. Yeah, I think so. The Wear Tears I'm bringing in to deal with their graveyard attacking effects as well as some of their artifacts. So I think this is the way to go post-board in this matchup. Would I like to play first? Yes, I would. Thanks for asking, Moto. That is a terrible opening hand. We're going to mulligan the heck out of that. This is much better. And the beat goes on. We're going to keep this. We're going to bottom one of the Cryptics. 2 Cryptics is one too many. Opponent did keep a full grip, so that's a little less than great. Here's hoping it works out for us. And I should have fired off my fetch land first, just in case they have Spirit Guide into turn 1 Leonid Arbiter or some kind of nonsense like that. Okay. Play Flooded Strand, play Spellbomb. I'm going to sit on as much as we can here. Rip. Perfect. Fine by me, friend. I'm not even going to blow my Wear Tear on that unless I am more incentivized to do so. Alright. Might end up blowing this Wear Tear. Just because, 1, it puts it into my graveyard, but 2, then I could cycle my Aether Spellbomb and keep that in the graveyard for an Emry I might draw. I really want to get to 4 mana for these Urzas. Ghost Quarter, alright. Makes sense in your Leonid Arbiter deck. Thought not. Okay, so we're going to get Scalding Tarn, or Steam Vents untapped. We're going to tear the Rest in Peace. So Tear will go into my graveyard because the Rest in Peace is destroyed before Tear goes off the stack. Then they can resolve their Thought-Knots here. See what they take here. I have 2 Urzas, so it's actually kind of good to draw the second Urza here. So there's a good chance they take Cryptic. Leave me with 2 copies of a legendary creature. Yep. Alright. Pop the Spellbomb. Looking for our 4th land here. That's not it. Okay, so I can play Saheeli EE on 0, which would deal with future chalices on any number. This also gives me a blocker to protect my Saheeli. Saheeli's also another option when you need to get an EE on 0, but you don't have a colorless source. You can play EE on some number and then turn a different artifact into a copy of the EE, and as long as that artifact doesn't have charge counters on it. Oh yeah, sure. We were hoping to draw a land to play a creature, so this is a Displacer. Yeah, that's a tad unfortunate. Alright, we really need to draw the land here. Although the Displacer can just straight up kill my Construct immediately, so feels like this is a really rough matchup for us. That's best possible draw, though. I could get Mystic Sanctuary here and reset my Wear Tear, but there's nothing on their side that makes me want to do that, so I'm just going to get another Island. I'm going to play Urza, get a Construct. And then I'm going to be depressed that I can't do anything else. Always feels bad to lose to the off-meta decks with something that's supposed to be so incredibly powerful. But this is the way magic happens sometimes, let me tell you. Take a tiny bit of solace in the fact that their Thalia has a hard time attacking now and or... Okay, so this is going to be displaced by Construct. Yep. So, unless they want to risk losing their Thalia, they cannot kill my Saheeli in one go. Oh. So, oh, they're attacking me? Alright. I think this means they have to have a Lightning Bolt in their hand. 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got the backup Urza, and the upside is pretty high here, so I'm just going to block the Thalia. If they have the Lightning Bolt, we were probably dead anyway. They got something. 2 mana. Bone Crusher. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So, once again, not good enough. Urza just not doing it, and yeah, they've just got so many sort of prison-like pieces against us that it's definitely not a close one here. Feels like a brutally bad matchup. Not playing any copies of anything like Galvanic Blast feels really bad in this kind of matchup. Yeah, it's so obnoxious. Just gonna block Urza and Thalia and hope that they don't immediately die to Lightning Bolt or another Stomp. I think the upside is good enough. If I'd known about things like Bone Crusher Giant, maybe I could have boarded into the spells, but good gravy, really? Alright. Well, here's hoping that another 2 mana thing. Oh, 3 mana thing. Okay. So I can play EE on 3 and blow it up. That'll kill my Emry. Could play Aether Spellbomb. Which doesn't help. Oh, EE on 3 also kills Saheeli, so that's really not a good option. And the Displacer can slide and kill tokens. could make 2 Aether Spellbombs. Pop them both to bounce Thought Knot and the Displacer. Okay, so we're gonna bring back Aether Spellbomb, which costs me 2 mana, but it gets me a servo. And the Spellbomb essentially costs 0 to activate. We're going to use Engineer Explosives to become the second Spellbomb. Going to tap it for 1 mana. Then we're going to sack it to bounce Thought-Knot Seer. Draw a card. Another land, of course, of course. It's exactly what I wanted. Urza can't get me a spell that's playable because Thalia will make it cost 1 more unless it's a creature. Could be another Urza. Giants are taking over the meta. Oh, Bone Crusher in Modern. Hey, Roy. Bone Crusher is a thing that happens in Modern from time to time. Okay, so I guess we bounce the Displacer. And we hope they're bad at Magic. But I think we're done here. So it looks like we're dropping to 2-1. We had a really good run going with this deck, but can't last forever. Oh no, they found the line. Cast the Eldrazi Displacer. Are they playing the Thought Knot first? If they play the Thought Knot first, I think I survive. Okay, they didn't do it. Damn it. Damn you. And your clever sequencing. Yep. Okay, cool. That'll do. So, easy 2-0 from the red-white Eldrazi and Taxes deck. I suppose that is a showing of some of the things that the mono-white Eldrazi and Taxes deck has been doing. Zachariah, that's what Zach stands for, right? It is not. Zach stands for Zachary, but I don't mind being called Zachariah. It's happened my entire life. It means God has remembered. I don't know what he remembered. It certainly doesn't seem to be me. That's okay. We're doing fine on our own. We're heading into match here for number 4 here, Roy. Got some sick combos. I turn 3 against Dredge. Yeah, okay, we're keeping this one. The full combo here. So we're against Twinless Twin. I've played against them before. I do not recall what they were on, but something ribald, no doubt. Thought Scour, sure. Oh, it's Grixis Control. I was playing Breach last time too. That's funny. I think they actually beat me up. I think it was close, but I think they got me good. They beat me up and they took my lunch money. Snow-covered forest. Okay, they're not playing Grixis. Sultai or 4-color. Goyf. Oh, Goyf's awesome. Goyf doesn't stop me too much at all. So if I go Grinding Station into Breach here and they both live, I just win? Is that how we do this? I think this is how we do this. I'm gonna grab. So I don't have a Mystic Sanctuary in the main deck. So Sultai Uro. That makes sense. How do you know that? I mean, it makes sense. Like once I saw the Thought Scour into the the things we saw. Thoughtseize. Oh, that's just rude. Well, there goes my breach. I was going to win the game. Second Goyf. Sure. So we're going to Teferi one of those. And then the next turn we're going to EE them, hopefully. Play a lot of Magic on X-Mage. No, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, we haven't seen an Uro, and I would just call that Sultai mid-range, but, like, or Sultai control even, because this is modern, so control and mid-range get really blurred a lot of the time. Hey, look, it's a Goyf again. And I sure hope they're not playing Stubborn Denial. Are you killing my Teferi? You are. Good play. Oh, that made the Goyf big enough for lethal next turn, did it? Okay, so if they have Stub, I'm just dead here. Yeah. Alright, well. Grip and rip it. No, I can play the Spellbomb afterwards and just... Okay, so we're going to grind ourselves, sacking the grinding station. Yeah. Which is fine because we can just draw a breach at some point and then we'll be fine. Oh no. Did I make the fetch land? Oops. Do they have main decked Abrupt Decay and they just blow me out here? For my missequencing? Yeah, of course they do. Wow, I hate it when that happens. Alright, so punished for my sequencing. Yeah, I understand. If you fetch, they can, yep. As soon as I did it, this never happens to me, so it doesn't excuse making a bad play. But I made the bad play and we got punished for it immediately, so. Good player wrecking me for bad plays. I think it's going to be really hard to go toe-to-toe with that deck in a mid-range way, so I think I'm supposed to stay on combo. Chalice seems bad. Spellbomb is probably not great. They're going to have things like Collector Oof. Probably the Rebuke is not as good as Aether Gust here. Well, it seems worth keeping, although there's a good chance that there's going to be Abrupt Decays, so the counter I need might be Aether Gust. I think that's going to be it. No Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. What do I need that for? Well, that's an unkeepable 7. I wonder if Urza is supposed to go out in some of these matchups. Okay, so we're definitely keeping this. I think I'm going to bottom Astrolabe, although Astrolabe gives me enough velocity, and now I have stuff to do on turn 1 and 2, so let's just keep them. They're good trinkets to have if we start going off. Yeah. Pretty okay with the hand we kept against Thoughtseizes. Our colors are going to be great, so I'm just going to grab a snow-covered island here. Hopefully we're not forced to EE on 1 for any reason. Face kind of finally closed their play space for a while. I'm not surprised. Movie theaters closing. Also not surprised. Yeah, I mean, that's the world we're in right now. Tapped breeding pool. Thoughtseize. Of course. All right. Well, there goes the Urza we drew. Would have been better as bubbles this game. Got it. Okay, now we top deck an Urza. That would have been really nice to have with my Urza. Okay, next turn they're going to play a Goyf, and then they're going to Veil me. So it's going to be real rough that we screwed up the first game. Do I bother to gust this? Probably. Let's get veiled. Let's get it out of the way. Oh, no, we got him. Sick. Okay. Let's go white, blue, play my slow EE on 2, keep my grinding station in my hand. Got all the resources I need and then some to be able to combo, so... Actually, do I? No, I need to get this grinding station into play. I guess it'll be a way to tax their mana next turn. Woof. Chase the Mind Sculptor. Okay. Aether Gust gets around Veil of Summer. Oh, it does, you're right. I always forget that it gives hexproof to them, but it does not give hexproof to their spells. It just makes them uncounterable, and Aether Gust does not counter them. So I could put an EE on 4. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get and shock this Hallowed Fountain. I don't think my life total is going to be the biggest of deals in this matchup, and getting that Jace off the table ASAP is good, and if for some reason all of my Astrolabes get blown up, I want access to colors. They're playing Snow and Jace and Tarmogoyf. Alright. This is my jam over there. Ugh. Alright, well, at least in theory, if we draw the Breach, we're still going to be good to go. Alright. Of course, they're going to have a wad of counterspells by now, but... Okay, so the Mox Amber can be in our graveyard if we want to go combo, so that doesn't matter, so... Oh boy, that's... yeah. It feels so adulterous. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's like the Teamer Snow Control deck or the 4-color Snow Control deck. It just doesn't have red in it, so... It doesn't have red in 6, so it's not as good, in my opinion, but it does seem to be playing, like, heavy black discard instead of the powerful gold cards, so... It's something. If our draw wasn't so atrocious, we might be able to do something here, but I would assume that they've just got a whack of counter magic in their hand. Surprised they haven't played any graveyard disruption yet. If they had done, we would be in some trouble. But I guess we're just about in as much trouble as we could be because I don't think I'm getting through what they have. However, we do have like a sort of coming out of nowhere kill in this deck, so. Although, yeah, like when they've got stuff like this going on, I don't know. Definitely do not feel like continuing to play this game. Alright. Yeah, they're going to reset the Cryptic. Alright, if we don't get to do anything next turn, I'm done with this. I'm not, sure. Finally going to play an Uro, why not? So they drew the Cryptic. Plus one more card. So I have to draw a Breach, like Teferi, basically. I have to draw something that forces them to use their Cryptic on it. Playing Grinding Station doesn't help me at all. Alright, as long as they don't have enough mana to play multiple counterspells that I know of, I can stay in this, I guess. Although, that's, like, oh my god. They've drawn like 8 extra cards. No, 6. They're up 6 cards on me. Which, again, we do have a combo that means that that's not necessarily the end of the world, but... at this point, I have to hope to draw the Breach, play Grinding Station, hope they counter the Grinding Station, and then play the Breach. Of course, now they've done that, so I can't bluff, so... Hand Disruption and Counter Magic is quite the combo. Alright, I'm done with this one. I don't think we're getting out of this. Just real bad draws. And I preemptively clicked the draw card button, so I don't even get to see. Heading into the burrito match. So we just got stamped by red-white Eldrazi Taxes and then Sultai midrange. Significant misplay in game 1. Don't mismanage your fetch lands, people. At some point, I'll probably get smart about how I play this game, but it's not today. It's okay, though. I'm going to the car wash. Die roll winning, always good. Alrighty. This is a pretty banging hand. No combo pieces, but plenty of good setup, so I think we're good to go on this one. Playing the Delta first again because it is an off-color fetch, so Flooded Strand can get us a basic snow-covered plains, but the Delta can only get us the island. I'm in the dark. I'm going to play out this Mox Amber just in case my opponent's on Eldrazi and they fire off a Chalice on 0. Ugin the Ineffable. Nailed it. That Ugin don't want to be effed with. There's a good chance they jam Chalice on 2 here, which means I really want to have this Metallic Rebuke up, so I'm going to play Astrolabe. And if I have the chance to fetch, I'm going to fetch Scalding Tarn. Shock that bad boy in. Mindstone. That is not a Chalice on 1. Okay. Land. 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 Hey! Alright, this means I get to play Teferi and bounce their Mind Stone. So, get that sick tempo. Just shock that. Teferi means we're ready to combo. We just need to find a grinding station. And I can play Metallic Rebuke now, too. I saw the lineup after I fetched because they fetched. That's the only reason that I saw the line, was that they responded, which meant they had something to do, and I realized because they had something to do because I tapped off of my available mana. So I'm going to try to be hard on myself with the idea that maybe I'll remember this time, but I've gotten blown out by that kind of play before, so I don't know. These are the reasons that I am never overconfident about my ability to play Magic the Gathering. Okay, is there anything else I want to play out of my hand? Yes, there is. Just the Spellbomb. Playing EE on 0 is like an option here. It doesn't get me to enough mana to play or to activate Urza. I could play Teferi and bounce an Astrolabe, which gives me a higher chance. Yeah, okay. So, gonna play EE on 0, which gets it in under a Chalice. Then I'm gonna tap 1, 2, 3. Filter white. Play another Teferi. Keep that one. Use this one to bounce my Astrolabe. This does get punished by them drawing a Smasher and killing my Teferi. But generally speaking, I think Teferi is not the most important card in this matchup. Roy, there's no reason to be upset about it. I learned from my best friend on ships that different people need different inputs for growth and for their own well-being. So he was a person who is just not good at taking compliments. He's not okay with compliments. He finds compliments detrimental to his performance in life. And he says, that may not be the most healthy thing in the world, but it's something that he knows about himself. He's like, listen, I just can't accept a bunch of compliments. It just doesn't. I'm not gonna produce as well as I need, as well as I think I could otherwise do. And there's probably a time and a place to deal with that and become a more healthy person, but that's not always now. For me, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I'm generally a pretty healthy person with the way that I approach things. But I also know that I have a pretty laissez-faire attitude sometimes. I don't take things as seriously as I should. And there are times in which that's appropriate. What are they drawing next turn? Chalice. Chalice is fine now because I'm basically just going to kill them. If I did draw a piece of interaction here, the second Rebuke or otherwise, I'll be good. But I do have this EE on 0 already that could take out the Chalice. I don't really want to pop it because I've got a Mox Amber in play. 3 mana. Matter Shaper is fine. Do I want to Bauble and draw again? I think so. Urza's mine on top. Okay, so that gets them up to 4, so they could play Thought-Knot next turn. I do have an Aether Spellbomb in play, so if I want to crack in for the full amount this turn, I can do so. So the question is, can I get through for lethal this turn? I have Breaches in my hand. The Breaches only let me play Baubles out of my graveyard. However, if I pop the EE... Oh, the EE is going to kill my Construct. All right, that line does not work. Got it. Oh, but bouncing the Metal Reshaper might. But then I can't play the zeros. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got it. I think probably just attack here. They're going to block my construct with their Reshaper. No, I can bounce the Mana Reshaper, attack them for 6 or 7, play the next Urza. Yeah. Bounce Mana Reshaper, play the next Urza. I could play an EE on 1. Doesn't really affect the clock in a major way. So the reason we did that is now if they just play the Reshaper, then they're not gonna have enough blockers for my construct, and I know what they're drawing this turn. It's just another mine, so they could play something like a Thought-Knot Seer this turn, but that doesn't save them at all. I've got 2 Underworld Breaches too, so I can just play a Breach and then replay the Aether Spellbomb from my graveyard, and then pop it to bounce the Thought-Knot Seer, and yeah, okay, they died. I think they just wanted to confirm what deck I was on by getting a look-see at my hand. Okay, so Saheeli seems really good this matchup. Wear Tear's good. I think Cryptic's really good. The question is, do I want to get off of combo? So I have 7 cards I want to bring in. That's an awful lot. If I want to bring in my Factor Fictions, that takes me fully off combo. Could leave the Muddle. I think I'm going to try this for game 2. We'll see if that works out. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Rod Stewart's "Do You Think I'm Sexy" is a banger. Opponent mulligans to 6, not uncommon for the Eldrazi Tron deck. See if they've got the turn 0. Yep. We've got a Teferi on 3, so that's going to allow me to start setting on my stuff. And I drew a Wear Tear, which is also pretty good. Nexus Uro Teamer. I saw a blue-green Teamer turns deck that looked super sweet. So I'm familiar with the concept. Okay, so here's the question is, do we fire off this Wear this turn so that I can get this Bauble in play underneath what they're about to Thought-Knot Seer? Think so. If I'm going to do it at some point, it might as well be now. This is a case of upkeep bobbling because there's a good chance they're essentially playing a Thoughtseize this turn, so I don't want the new card to be part of the set that they see. They have a Waste on top, so they definitely have a land here. Thought not? I thought so. Be interesting to see what they take. Some pretty juicy targets here. Worst case scenario, we're probably going to play Everflowing Chalice on 1 into Aether Spellbomb next turn, so not the end of the world. They took the Chalice. Okay, so they're just cutting off my mana. I have 2 draws here, so I don't know if that was particularly wise, but it did in fact work out. So the question is, do I cycle the Spellbomb to just draw a card, or do I bounce the Thought-Knot Seer and let them take another card from my hand? I think I'm going to bounce the Thought-Knot. If I draw a land at this point, it's just such a high upside, and letting them take another one of these cards is fine. They're all pretty interchangeable in this deck, so again, we're going to upkeep Bauble them. Thought-Knot's back. They can't take both my Teferis. Teferi bouncing a Thought-Knot is awesome. But Temur Nexus Uro or the Uro Time Walk decks, it looked awesome. So definitely into trying that out at some point. no lands. Lands are forgotten here. This Thought-Knot has come into play and out so many times now. Entering the battlefield has lost all meaning. They cracked their Mind Stone to try to draw a card instead of just playing the Thought-Knot. I wonder if they have an Expedition map in hand. They did draw the land, so lucky me, I get Thought Seized again. They took the Urza. Okay, so we're down to one Urza left in our deck. Another Chalice on 0. Well, that would be a pain, but I have this EE on 0. Okay, so Astrolabe into Emry. There's a land. Sick. Okay, so we're losing our Teferi this turn, but I have another one, so that's fine. And I can pop their Chalice at the end of their turn. And this time there's no collateral damage, which is great. Please kill my Teferi. Thank you. Oh! Oh! Yeah, you can hit me for 4. Mana Reshaper. Yeah, that's totally fine. Blast Zone. Not so fine. Okay. Goodbye, mods. Alright, what do we got? So I can get back Aether Spellbomb, but I won't be able to bounce the Thought-Knot and Cryptic it, which I definitely want to do. They can't currently get their Blast Zone up to 3 where they want it. So I think we just play Astrolabe here. And then I'm definitely holding on to this Emry in my hand. Another EE. Suppose I could set an EE on 4, let them kill my Teferi, and then not have to jump through so many hoops to kill their Thought-Knot Seer. And if they Blast Zone on 3 to kill my Emry, then they kill their own Mana Reshaper. So downside, this puts me shields down to an Ugin this turn. How much do I care? Do you think Thought-Knot Seer is too strong a card? Not even close. Not for Modern. It's not very good in Pioneer right now. It has been okay. Okay, so we're just going to take the sort of interesting line of going EE on 4, which I did in the least efficient way possible. Also super down on clock. God. Oh boy. What is this? Oh, Crank Blast Zone? Just get that F6 equity? Sure. Enjoy. Opponent, why you gotta scare me like that? Alright, beat me up, nerd. Is this Ugin? Not yet, it's not. Okay, so Reshaper's gonna kill. Yeah, okay, cool. That makes sense. Well, they didn't do anything. I'll take it. You just play the Astrolabe here, draw a card. Get the land, sick. Play Aether Spellbomb here. I suppose I should have just baubled since I'm not. Well. No, this is fine. I think we've gotten a little bit lucky with the actual number of threats they've picked up. It's been lackluster. Post-combat Ugin doesn't sound so bad. It's probably going to be terrifyingly awful, but we'll see. I don't think Ugin the Ineffable would have been that good at this point. The only thing kill of mine is Emry, so. Okay, so I think we're in a pretty terrific situation now because we've got a backup Emry, and they are pretty heavily disincentivized from going Blast Zone on 3, killing their only relevant creature. I'm going to bounce Astrolabe here. Just get all that value. We're looking for Saheeli to close the game out, or the third Urza. Yeah, they're conspicuously low on threats. That's a good description. Oh, they got a Smasher on top? Sweet. Glad I have this Cryptic now. So definitely not protecting my Teferi from anything here. I could counter the Smasher and bounce the Mana Reshaper, but I think we're just going to go counter draw. Did I lose? I didn't lose a Cryptic yet, and my deck still has a Mystic Sanctuary in it, so. Attacking me for 3. Sure, I'll just take it. I'm okay to go 2-4 against this deck. And they Blast Zone the 3s. Sure. They reveal Urza's Tower. It's going to give them a trillion mana. So if they ever draw a Walking Ballista that I can't counter, I'm super dead. Okay, they know, or they should know, that I know that they have Reality Smasher in their hand, but I do have this Aether Spellbomb, so I'm just going to have that hang up for now. It means I get to go a bit lighter on the mana I spend each turn. Fact is a reasonable pickup here. So I actually kind of missequenced here. I could have put, well, so I want to find my Mystic Sanctuary, not mill it, and I hopefully haven't milled. Okay, so there's still Saheeli, and there's still the last Urza in my deck. Okay, cool. We're in a pretty good spot overall in terms of what E-Tron is able to do. And if they don't play the Smasher for whatever reason, we could just Factor Fiction at end of turn. Alternatively, I could just Aether Spellbomb the Smasher and Factor Fiction at end of turn anyway. Okay, they know I have the Spellbomb, which is why I assume they're not casting the Smasher. And now I've got a disgusting Factor Fiction pile. Okay. I'm going to take pile 2. Got more cards, got a Mox Amber that I can use for with my Teferi. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so library's getting a little low. Really need to find this Urza in a hurry. Okay, so I have just Baubles to draw cards? Sure. Cast my Bauble, plus the Teferi. I think I'm going to go to 3. They don't play burn spells. Okay, so the only thing left is Mystic Sanctuary. Sure, why not? We're going to put... Okay, the second Cryptic is in my graveyard. We'll put that on top of my deck. I'm going to draw on their turn. We're going to draw twice. I really need to find this Urza and get this game over with, because we are semi in danger of decking. Okay, so these fetches don't find lands anymore. Okay. Opponent is playing a very patient game. I'm going to fire off this other Factor Fiction. Still no threat. I'll take the Astrolabe versus the pile of mediocrity. There she is. All right. Officially found a win condition. Bounce an Astrolabe, play the Astrolabe. Oh, there's an Urza? Sick. They could have Dismember or what's it called in their hand right now? So this turn, I'm not playing the Urza. And Saheeli lets me attack with a Construct next turn, which is going to be enormous. So I'm going to dump this out of my hand just to get the number of cards in my hand a little lower. Okay. So basically just need to make it through like one more turn cycle and we win. Okay. Took forever to find that Urza, but what the heck is this? Smasher. Resolves. Okay, they did not have a plan with that. Good to know. Okay. Play my Urza. Get my 9/9 Construct. Play my Spellbomb. Use Mox Amber just in case. Plus Teferi. Use Saheeli to turn one of these. No, hold on. Choose Saheeli to turn Astrolabe into a Construct. Go combat. Attack with all for 13? Sure. And I've got an 11/11 blocker, so I don't even need to counter or deal with their Smasher in theory because this giant robot. So, should be easy here. That's fine. They have a second Smasher? Still fine. Even if they have a third Smasher, I could just Cryptic to tap them all. I can block with the Construct on one and Urza plus a Servo on the other one. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. And then I'm going to bounce this one. See if they had an out here of any kind. We win with 3 cards in the library. So Karn doesn't shut down anything I'm doing right now. So I know most of the cards that are left in their hand. I'm not going to risk countering the Karn or anything. I'm going to let the Karn get what he wants. I don't think there's any uncounterable artifacts that he can get that ends the game. So my artifacts activated abilities can't be activated, but I could just attack with a 10-10 construct. Even without the 10-10, I've got enough servos plus my other friends. I get Walking Ballista, not surprising, but I got this Cryptic, so. Counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand, so bounce my Mystic Sanctuary for the maximum value. And I get a servo, so even if somehow they kill my construct, yeah, and we got there. So 3-2 with this deck. So gratuitous misplays in game 1 against the Sultai mid-range deck. This is definitely very, very powerful, as you saw from some of the combo kills, especially some of the ones against Dredge. If your opponent is on a linear game plan that has little to no interaction, this deck is hot fire. I really do like Andrea Mengucci's setup here with the Urzas in the main deck. We had some game 1s like against Eldrazi there where we didn't combo them at all. We just beat them to death with Urza constructs and a general mid-range plan. Obviously, they stumbled a bit, but that does happen in Magic, and you want to have a game plan that can get there through that. So Urza really doesn't need a lot of help to be a decent mid-range card, other than being in an artifact shell. And then the sideboard plan of turning into a mid-range deck where staying as the combo deck would be inadvisable is awesome. It's super fun. It's nice to see your opponent play a bunch of ley lines and Grafdigger's Cages and stuff and just have a lot less... just care a lot less about that in the game too. Saheeli is awesome in these shells. So, yeah, generally a big fan of this. 3-2 is a reasonable showing. I haven't done insanely well with these, but I have made misplays, and there are decks in the meta that are hostile to it. Notably, Death Shadow last time was my 2 losses, and this time again it was decks with counter magic are rough. Even if you do have Teferi that can get you through it sometimes, you do need to navigate those matchups carefully. Anywho, we're going to hit a brief break while I switch over to Jund. If you're checking this out on YouTube, you can also check out Jund. You can check out my awesome backlog of videos. Like, subscribe, smash that button, and we'll see you in a few minutes.